Hey guys, welcome back to another Cajun Toy Review. Today I'm very excited to be talking about figures from one of my favorite movies growing up, The Princess Bride. And we will be looking at 3 out of the 4 of the first wave of figures: Inigo Montoya, Princess Buttercup, and the Dread Pirate Roberts. The only one we will not have is Fezzik, which I'm not sure if he's packaged separately or whatnot, because there were 6 of these on the shelf, 2 of each. And that seemed like maybe a whole case. So I'm not sure if he's just like, since he's a bigger figure or pack not. He's definitely not the builder figure, because there's very little to nothing in these packages besides the figures. But they look really awesome. So I'm definitely excited to open them up, talk about them and stuff with you guys, and nerd out a little bit. So let's take a look at the packaging on these guys, and then we'll look at our figures. So starting with Inigo Montoya, looking really awesome. He does come with his father's sword. Looks really cool sculpted, but very good likeness on there. We can kind of see the background with the clouds, the kind of cover from the film. On the side we have Wesley and Buttercup embraced, of course, the Princess Bride logo and the Mcfarlane toys. On the back we have a shot of Inigo Montoya, the Dread Pirate Roberts, Fezzik, and Buttercup. 22 points of moving parts, and of course all different links to Mcfarlane. Not a whole much, very boring background for this stuff. On the top, Princess Bride. On the bottom, UPC will be in the shots as always, guys, if you need it. And then Buttercup, it's not gonna be a whole much different on there. We can see, just her in there in her red dress, which looks pretty cool, kind of hanging in the back. I don't see a figure stand behind her. We'll see. It's probably too low. On the back, we got a shot of her on the hillside, and of course the other characters again on there. UPC will be in the shots. And then lastly, we have our Dread Pirate Roberts, and he's looking really awesome. This is my favorite so far, just from looking at him in the box, but we will see when we take him out if that changes. Of course, same thing on there. On the back, we got a shot of him right in the same time in the same scene, and once again, UPC at the end if you need it. So yeah, not much else to say about that, so let's go ahead and open these up and check out our figures. And we are looking at our 3 Princess Bride figures out of the box, and these look really awesome. There's a lot of detail on these figures and stuff like that, but there is just the lack of things, and the price is going to be my negative comments basically on these figures. For what, it's a $25 figure for each one, and they should be 20. That's all I can say. They should be 20, based on what we get for like Mortal Kombat figures and stuff like that, which are generally a lot more detailed, and come with some more weapons and stuff like that. These figures are pretty bare bones for the most part, and simple little things could have taken these figures a long way. And as we look at each one, I'll kind of talk about just little simple things that they could have added to each one of these to make more value. And being that it's Mcfarlane, I'm already playing devil's advocate and already being pessimistic that they're probably going to release a deluxe version of these or a box set that's going to fix a lot of the things that they're just holding off for, to get variants or re-releases and stuff like that. And that sucks. But we'll talk about what we do have today, and you can make your own decision if you think it's worth it or not. But share it with me in the comments and stuff, your opinions as well. So let's take a look at our figures. Alright, so we're going to look at our figures, and we'll start with our Dread Pirate Roberts. And this figure is pretty good. The sculpt for the most part is good. I do like it. There just is some kind of questionable things on there. The lower torso looks a little bit too elongated. It looks long right here. I know the belt makes it really tight around his waist and stuff, but it gives him a really saggy butt. And front, it looks like he's wearing a diaper. It is way too saggy and low in the back. I don't know. It just looks off to me. Like it's just a little bit too long right there. That doesn't look like a normal human proportion. This belt doesn't float, so I can't pull it down to disguise that. It just looks extremely too big. I don't know. Am I crazy? What do you guys think? Now, I do like the detail on the belt and the sash and stuff. That does look really good. The sleeves are interesting. Him and Buttercup do have these interesting sleeves where they have like this big ruffled puffy parts on their forearm sleeves, and it's interesting stuff. It does make the posing of the arms kind of odd. These aren't going to be really crazy posed action figures. They are Mcfarlane figures after all. We're expecting more for sculpts and stuff like that, kind of along the NECA. But I don't know, with these like interesting, it's even hard to bend this thing. You don't get a full range. Look at that thing. That thing looks just crazy. So, and let's click. The feet are good. I do like the boots. I wish they did put a little bit of dirt and dust on there for their fight and stuff like that. He doesn't stay this clean very long, but I do like the chainmail underneath here. That looks really good. It's a different texture. I mean, it's a different tone a little bit for the shirt. You can kind of see right here where it separates. I think the face sculpt is good on this. It does look a lot like Carrie Elves. He does have really good blue eyes in the mouth and stuff like that. Now, the issue I do have with this is, what is all this dirt? Is this supposed to be facial hair or dirt? It is really, really distracting and too much. He does not have all this crap on his face like this. You know, not in the scenes where he's wearing the mask and everything and stuff like that. You know, later on, maybe when he's hurt and he's in, they're in the swamp and everything else like that. Yeah, he's dirty and he's beat up and stuff like that. But when he's wearing this, he doesn't have all this crap on his face. Not at all. And all he has is a little mustache. He does not have this 5 o'clock shadow, whatever they were trying to do here. Like, look at this. Let me see if I can pop his head off. Yeah, what is the hell is that? You got an old dirty ass neck. So I don't know what they were going for there, but I don't like it. And then Carrie Elves does have a little bit of a beauty mark right here, but it's very small. It's not that big. That is a very large beauty mark or pock mark, whatever they put on him, stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a hit or miss on the face, but this dirty neck beard crap they got going on and stuff like that, I don't care for it at all. But that is just a gripe on this figure. Overall, I think it looks good. If you put it on the shelf and stuff like that, you got him with a sword. He does look pretty awesome. I don't know. That drives me crazy right there. He holds his sword really well. Just got to kind of get it in his hand. And, oh, I'm going to be a liar here. There we go. And it's a little warped already. I'm going to have to put some heat into it. But if you're going to put it in the hilt or the scabbard, it's going to bend a little bit. Yeah, you got to bend the crap out of it to get it in there. But it looks pretty good. I'm definitely going to have him pose with the sword out for the most part. But you see how much that bent it already? Just put it in there. Now it bends pretty easy, but over time, that's either going to break or warp too much. So I recommend one way or the other on that one. Now, my gripe on this one. Now look, guys. I'm gonna sound like I'm gonna kind of shit on these characters and these figures and stuff a little bit and stuff, and I'm a little hard on them because, man, I love The Princess Bride. It's a movie I can watch anytime. If it's on, I'm gonna leave it play. You know, I saw it at a young age, and it just really stuck with me. And it's a good family film. I mean, it's good for all ages, kind of almost for much. There's nothing in it that's really bad, but there's stuff in there that kids can enjoy and stuff that adults can enjoy, and it's quotable. It's just really awesome, and so I'm a little disappointed with some of the things on these figures and stuff like that. And, I'm also usually kind of hard on Mcfarlane figures and stuff like that just because I know they do better. And they cut corners wherever they can. So, my gripe with this figure, besides the neck stuff, is the lack of accessories. And, what else could you give him, right? Okay, well, we give him a different head. You can give him the head without the mask. Well, then you say, this is a Dread Pirate Roberts figure. Okay, sure, it is. Okay, so we don't have to give him another head then. So what else could we give him? Well, the same thing we could have gave Inigo Montoya right here and gave him a little extra value. an extra hand, because one of the most awesome scenes in the whole movie is when they're fighting and they switch hands. They both go from left-handed to right-handed fighters. And you cannot do that with either one of these figures because they both have set hands to hold their weapons. They don't have any kind of extra hands to switch out, so you can't even recreate one of the most badass scenes in the movie, one of the most badass sword fighting scenes in movie history. So that is my gripe with the Dread Pirate Roberts. So let's look at Inigo Montoya, and he looks awesome. The sculpt on this guy looks great. The likeness of Manny Batinga, I think I said his name right, is really awesome. He does have this little gap in his stomach, chest. See? Yeah, it's kind of weird looking. It's a crevice. But he does look good. I wish he had some way to hold his sword. This is not your sword. Get out of there. He cannot hold his sword in the hilt. They kind of teased at it with pictures and stuff. They kind of showed him holding it under his arm, and it made you think that he had it in his belt, which he does do in the film, but you cannot do it with this figure. But overall, I think the likeness is really good. I do like the face a lot. The mustache looks really, really great. You got the scars on both faces, side of his face from the six-fingered man, and just the sculpt on the hair itself is great. Got that big nose. Now, I'll say this about these figures. I got these at a Target, and I looked at all six of them pretty carefully on the shelf, and there was differences in the eyes. The Inigo Montoya that I left behind, he had some jacked eyes. This one's already kind of looking to the right a little bit, but the other one was really looking to the right. It was almost too bad, and I don't know if I would have got it if it was the only one they had, because that's how bad it was. And this one's not great either. He's not looking straight. He's kind of looking to the side. So I don't know. Just look at him when y'all see him in the stores and stuff and it's kind of hit or miss. But this isn't terrible. But I'm just saying. I wish I should have took a picture of the other one just so I could show you. But yeah, he looks good. Very detailed. I do like the texture on the shirt. It looks awesome. Like I said, I wish he did come with a different hand, kind of like Dread Pirate Roberts. So once again, we could recreate that scene. He does hold his sword well as well, which is much larger. Just gotta open his hand a little bit and get it in there, and there we go. And he looks really, really good. Got some kind of little crazy gaps with the elbows and stuff like that. Not too much of a fan of that, but for the most part, it's good. The sword shouldn't be white here, but that's a minor nitpick. So now I'm going to say the other thing they could have had with this figure, because I thought about this quite a bit, the lack of accessories and stuff that they have with these figures. So what could they have given him besides the extra hand? Well, you could have given him a different head with his eyes closed, so you could recreate the scene where he's, my father's sword guide me, and he does it twice in the film, I want to say, where he closes his eyes and he kind of walks with the sword. Easy. You can even use almost the same head sculpt. You just got to make his eyes are closed. I don't know. That'll probably be in the deluxe edition. So let's look at Buttercup, and then I should have done Articulation. I'll do a rundown on all of them real quick at the end. Just want to talk about the figures individually real quick. So Buttercup here. She looks pretty good. The dress is amazing. It is fabric here. It kind of comes in from underneath the torso right there, and it's very flowing and awesome. Look at that. That's really, really cool looking and stuff like that. And underneath, she's got like some superhero kind of legs going on. But you don't ever see that. But it looks really cool. You can put her on the figure stand, and you can put and flush the dress out, and you really don't even see the stand. So, because she doesn't stand great, she has very small feet. But yeah, I think overall she looks good. She's kind of got an odd expression on her face a little bit. There is a slight gap on her head where you can see the glue is on her head. You can kind of see the gap between where the hair meets on there. But speaking of the hair looks freaking amazing. Like, look at the curls on her hair. That detail is insane. And of course, she's got the little cap on. see the gold on there, but yeah, look at that hair. That hair is phenomenal. Some of the best hair I've seen. And overall, her face is good. It's just that little gap where you can kind of see into like where the head meets at. And she's got earrings on. Just an odd little expression on her face. I don't know. Her cuffs are kind of crazy. She's got kind of the same thing with the Dread Pirate Roberts, where she's got some crazy forearm fabric things going on right here, and it's supposed to be the the parts of the dress and stuff like that. It's just a interesting sculpt, but she can get good range on that as well. Look at that ratchet kind of thing going on. The belt kind of floats on there, but overall, I think she's a good figure. The stitching on the back, I don't know. All three of these look great on the shelf. I mean, I'm definitely hoping they make more. I want to see more of these characters and stuff that would come out on Wave 2 or whatnot. I just feel like they could have been a little bit more for the price. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? And then, okay, what could they give her? So, okay, well, obviously she doesn't need an extra hand or anything like that. She does have a holding hand. So what could she have gotten? She could have got an extra head as well. And that head could have been blindfolded so you could recreate the poison scene. And that would have been cool. But we didn't get that either. So that's just me. I don't work for Mcfarlane. I don't work for any of that crap. That's just my 2 cents, my opinion and stuff like that. Because like I said, this is $75 right here. And these are $25 a piece figures and stuff like that. And we see, other Mcfarlane figures. The Builder figures are usually that price, or, the Mortal Kombat figures are about $20. So I don't know. I think for the value, it needed a little bit more, just a little bit more. All right, so we'll just do a quick look at the articulation on the 3 figures and just give you my final thoughts. So let's look at the Dread Pirate Roberts. So he can look up, not much at all, down about that bit, which is not much either. Full head rotation, a little bit of pivot, not much. I mean tilt. Full arm rotation on him. He does have a single jointed elbow, which has those big old cuffs, so you can get about that much, but you can touch the back of his head. And he on a ball joint on his wrist with full rotation and flex. There is rotation at the torso. Now, so let's look at this again, and I'm going to point out something that I noticed. Like I said, he has a very elongated torso. So when you look at it, it's actually 3 different segments right here. So we can do rotation here, but it's still got, look at this bottom part. So actually, if I try to turn the waist right here, there we go. Look at how big the bottom is on this figure. Look at that big flabby butt. I don't know. That's, the sword is on a peg, and this is a whole separate piece. So yeah, it's normally you don't, I don't know, that's but that's why it looks that's why it looks really long, because it's actually 3 separate pieces. So here is this, and then we have a second piece where the belt is, and then we have the basically this piece is, it should almost be out. That's why he just looks so crazy long. All right, so you can split about this far, which, I mean, crazy. You can split. You can do some crazy sword fighting if you want. He can kick his spine. There is no thigh cut, no boot cut. There's a ball joint on the foot with flex rotation, and there's a toe pivot. Inigo Montoya, he can do a full head rotation. He's got a little bit of a tilt on there. Look down about that much. Up a little bit. Not much at all. There you go. Arm rotation. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. I don't like that gap. I don't know. That's ugly. That's really ugly. Look at that. His arms look long too when you do that. Ball joint on the wrist, flex, rotation. And the ab crunch is hidden, or you're gonna get nothing with that torso like that. Split just about as much. Double jointed knees, kick your spine. No boot cuts or thigh cuts. Ball joint on the foot with rotation flex, toe point, and toe pivot, and peg holes on the bottom of his feet. And you don't want to stand. And lastly, Buttercup. Full head rotation if you like. On that, look down about this much. Up, not very much with that hair at all. A little bit of pivot. Forearm rotation with a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. She does have the ball joint on the wrist with flex on there as well. A little bit of an ab crunch. Let's be modest. You can split all the way. She has double jointed knees, no thigh cut or anything like that. What the hell's going on right here? Hold on. That looks strange. Wow. Okay. You're not supposed to see that, but that just looks odd. Double jointed knees, no boot cut again. Same basically. Ball rotation, flex on the foot, toe pivot. Like your boots, girl. And that's it, really, for the articulation on there. Nothing surprising or amazing. Basically, normal stuff for Mcfarlane figures. So, anyway, my final thoughts on these and stuff like that. $20 worth at $25. I don't know. It's a little bit pushing. I love the figures. I love the movie. I just recently rewatched it. I'll probably get more of them. But I just wish, if these are $25. If these were NECA for $5 more, they would have had 3 heads each and multiple hands and crazy amount of accessories. He probably would have came with Dread Power House would have came with a damn rope on the top of the mountain or something like that, and she probably would have came with the table with the poison and stuff. You know, you would have got accessories that I wouldn't even imagine. So I don't know. It's just very bare minimum. And God, I hate being such a negative, but hey, that's what I do. So, you know, it's the holidays. It's, you know, there's a lot of stuff coming out between movies, games, figures. Got to be selective sometimes. You know, I'm not a rich person, so you know, every dollar counts, and I don't think these are overpriced. That's it. So, if you guys like this video or anything like that, leave a like. Please drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Am I too harsh on these figures, or do you agree? Let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. And check out our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm kind of messing around doing little shorts and stuff like that, and I'm kind of alternating the ones I do on YouTube and different ones on TikTok. So if you do like those things, let me know, and you can check them out on there. And I think that's it. We'll be back to our regular schedule. Be doing more DC, Marvel, and then mixing some NECA, of course, in there as well. And that's it. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.